Hi, I'm Pixie. Tonight's bedtime story is about a mischievous little squirrel named Nutkin who just can't stop teasing a very serious old owl while all his friends gather nuts politely. Nutkin sings silly riddles until one day his games get him into big trouble. So cuddle up, close your eyes, and get ready for a cheeky woodland adventure full of laughter, lessons, and a tiny squirrel with a very fluffy tail. This is a tale about a tail that belonged to a little red squirrel, and his name was Nutkin. He lived in the woods beside a shining lake with his brother Twinkleberry and many cousins. In the middle of the lake stood an island full of nut trees, and in the largest tree on that island lived an owl called Old Brown, very wise, very serious, and not fond of nonsense. One golden autumn day, when the nuts were ripe and the leaves glowed green and gold, all the squirrels built tiny rafts out of twigs. They paddled across the water, each with a small sack and a big fluffy tail for a sail. As a gift for Old Brown, they brought 3 fat mice, laid them politely on his doorstep, and said, "Good morning, Mr. Brown. May we gather nuts on your island?" But Nutkin. Nutkin was different. He bounced and bobbed like a red cherry, singing, riddle me, rotatoto." A little wee man in a red coat. Old Brown said nothing. He simply closed his eyes and went to sleep. The squirrels gathered their nuts and went home. But the next day they came back again, bringing more presents, a mole, some minnows, even a basket of honey. Each time the squirrels bowed politely. But Nutkin, he just couldn't resist teasing. He sang riddles, waved his tail, and even tickled Old Brown's feathers with a nettle. Old Brown grew more and more annoyed. Nutkin laughed and danced, calling out silly rhymes. Humpty Dumpty lies in the bed. 40 doctors can't fix his neck. Still, Old Brown said nothing, until one day, ... Nutkin went too far. He leapt right onto Old Brown's head. There was a flurry of feathers, a squeak, and a puff of dust. The other squirrels ran for their lives, peeking from behind the trees, and there sat Old Brown, perfectly still on his doorstep, ... with Nutkin nowhere to be seen. But wait, this wasn't the end. Old Brown had caught Nutkin. He held him by the tail, planning to teach him a lesson. Nutkin wriggled and squirmed and pulled until his tail snapped. He darted out the window and escaped into the forest, leaving half his beautiful tail behind. And ever since that day, if you meet Nutkin up in a tree and try to ask him a riddle, he'll scold and chatter and shout, "See, cook, 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 cook." So perhaps, my dear listener, the next time you feel like teasing someone, remember Nutkin and his missing tail. Thank you for joining me tonight. Sleep well, dream of gentle forests, and remember, kindness and good manners make the world a little brighter. Good night, my little dreamer.